Have you ever wondered about the myths and legends of the Old West? Who were these larger-than-life characters, really? Our focus today is on one such character, Jeremiah Johnson, colloquially known as Liver-Eating Johnson. His life was a tapestry of truth and fiction woven together to create a legend that continues to captivate us today. Johnson was a man of many hats. He was a sailor, mountain man, prospector, whiskey bootlegger, and a deputy sheriff. But perhaps the most notable aspect of his life was the legend that surrounded him. The tales of his liver-eating habits, his battles with Native American tribes, and his survival in the harsh wilderness were all part of a grand narrative that often blurred the lines between reality and myth. But who was he really? What is the true story behind the legend? Join us as we journey through the life of Jeremiah Johnson, a true legend of the Old West. The tale of Jeremiah Johnson begins not in the wild, but on the sea. Born in New Jersey in the early 1800s, Johnson was a sailor before he ever set foot in the wild western mountains. His life at sea was one of hard work and discipline, but it was also filled with dreams of adventure and freedom. This longing for excitement would ultimately lead him to abandon his seafaring life and head west. When he first stepped off the boat, Johnson was taken aback by the vastness of the American frontier. He was drawn to the untamed wilderness and the promise of a life free from the rigidity of naval discipline. Thus, he embarked on a journey to become a mountain man, a rugged individualist living off the land. Johnson's transition from sailor to mountain man was not an easy one. He had to learn to hunt, trap, and survive in the harsh wilderness. He faced many challenges, from grueling winters to dangerous wildlife. Yet with each passing season, Johnson grew more adept at living in the mountains. His first interactions with Native Americans were also a defining part of his early experiences in the West. Johnson learned much from the indigenous tribes, including how to hunt and survive in the wilderness. He was known for his willingness to engage with the tribes, learning their languages and adopting some of their customs. However, these interactions were not always peaceful. Johnson found himself in conflicts with various tribes, which further fueled his reputation as a fearsome mountain man. These experiences shaped Johnson, molding him into a figure of legend, a man seemingly larger than life. In time, Johnson would become synonymous with the wild frontier, his name whispered in hushed tones around campfires and in saloons. His life was not without hardship, but his resilience and survival skills were second to none. He embodied the spirit of the Old West, a man who carved his own path in a wild and untamed land. The stage was set for a life of adventure and survival in the wild frontier. Johnson's early years were just the beginning of a journey that would see him become one of the most enduring legends of the Old West. The moniker Liver-Eating Johnson invokes a particular image, but how did it come to be? This question has intrigued many, and the truth is an unexpected tale. Our man of the hour, Jeremiah Johnson, was not the carnivorous cannibal that his nickname might suggest. The reality was far less gruesome, yet equally fascinating. Johnson was known for eating raw deer liver, a practice he adopted from the Crow tribe with whom he spent considerable time. This was a common practice among the Crow tribe, a testament to their survival skills and adaptability to the harsh environment of the Wild West. Johnson's adoption of this practice was a symbol of his respect and understanding of the Crow tribe's customs, a significant gesture in a time when cultural interactions between white settlers and Native Americans were often marked by conflict and misunderstanding. By 1884, when Johnson was 60 years old and suffering from rheumatism, a reporter interviewed him at Hunter Hot Springs, seeking to unravel the truth behind the liver-eating myth. Johnson, with a mischievous twinkle in his eye, revealed that his infamous nickname was actually the result of a practical joke. He explained that he had once tricked a fellow mountain man into believing he consumed human livers, a prank that was taken seriously and spread like wildfire, eventually cementing his reputation as the notorious Liver-Eating Johnson. Johnson's early life did involve skirmishes with Native Americans, but the tales of cannibalism were entirely fabricated. In retrospect, the liver-eating myth is a fascinating example of how narratives can evolve over time, driven by exaggeration, misunderstanding, and the human penchant for a good story. The legend of Liver-Eating Johnson became a defining part of his identity, overshadowing the true story of a man who was a product of his time, shaped by the Wild West's rugged landscapes and complex cultural interactions. So, the next time you hear the name Liver-Eating Johnson, remember the man behind the myth, a mountain man who ate raw deer liver, not human livers. As it turns out, the legend was far more colorful than the reality. Survival in the Old West was not just about braving the elements and wildlife, it was also about navigating a harsh economy and a lawless society. Jeremiah Johnson, our mountain man, was no stranger to these challenges. Johnson tried his luck as a prospector in the rugged terrains of Montana. But the glittering promise of gold often turned to dust, leaving many like Johnson grappling with the harsh realities of the Old West. Struggling to strike it rich, Johnson found himself caught in a cycle of hardship and disappointment, but the indomitable spirit of the West was not to be quelled. When prospecting proved fruitless, Johnson turned his hand to an enterprise that was as risky as it was lucrative: bootlegging whiskey. In a time when the sale and transport of alcohol were often regulated or outright prohibited, bootlegging offered a dangerous but profitable alternative. Johnson, driven by the need to survive, found himself walking this precarious path. Yet Johnson's story is not just one of economic survival, but also of maintaining order in an era of lawlessness. Despite his illicit activities, Johnson served as a deputy sheriff in several frontier towns. Using his formidable reputation, he managed to keep the peace in places where the law was often disregarded. His role as a lawman underlines the complex nature of frontier justice, where reputation often mattered more than the letter of the law. Johnson's experiences as a prospector, bootlegger, and deputy sheriff paint a vivid picture of life in the Old West. His story is a testament to the resilience and adaptability of the men and women who sought a new life on the frontier. It's a tale of survival, of making do with what you have, and of bending the rules when the rules don't work for you. In the face of adversity, Johnson found ways to survive, both within and outside the law. The legend of Jeremiah Johnson did not end with his life. His story was immortalized, taking on a life of its own on the silver screen, through the film aptly titled Jeremiah Johnson. Hollywood, with its penchant for drama and glamour, took the raw, gritty life of this mountain man and transformed it into a cinematic spectacle. The film weaved a tale of adventure and survival, blending the harsh realities and mythical elements of Johnson's life. The truth of his experiences was interspersed with a dash of fiction, creating a larger-than-life character that would captivate audiences. And so, Jeremiah Johnson, the man, became Jeremiah Johnson, the cinematic hero. Hollywood's interpretation of Johnson's life played a significant role in shaping public perception of this historical figure. The film presented him as a symbol of rugged individualism, a man who braved the wilderness of the Old West, battling nature and Native Americans alike. It showcased his courage, his resilience, and his survival instincts, painting a picture of a man who embodied the spirit of the frontier. However, it's important to remember that films, while they can bring history to life, also have the power to distort it. The romanticized portrayal of Johnson's life in the movie amplified certain aspects while downplaying others. It honed in on his myth, the infamous liver-eating Johnson, while glossing over the complexities of his interactions with the Crow tribe and the realities of his later life. Despite these distortions, the film's impact on popular culture is undeniable. It has become a classic, a beloved piece of cinema that continues to inspire and entertain. It has also served to keep the memory of Jeremiah Johnson alive, preserving his legend for future generations. In this way, Hollywood plays a crucial role in our understanding of history. It takes real people with their flaws and their triumphs and turns them into icons. It creates heroes out of ordinary men and women, shaping our collective memory and influencing the narratives we tell about our past. Through film, Jeremiah Johnson became a symbol of the rugged individualism and adventure of the Old West. The story of Jeremiah Johnson is a testament to the power of narrative. His life, like so many figures from the Old West, was woven with threads of truth and fabrications, creating a tapestry of American history that's as riveting as it is complex. Johnson's reputation as a liver-eating mountain man, his struggles and survival in the harsh economic realities of the frontier, his role in maintaining peace in lawless towns, all contribute to his legend. But these tales, often morphed and exaggerated, are not the sole reflection of his reality. The true story of Johnson, and many others like him, is a blend of adventure, hardship, and resilience. It's a reminder that our understanding of the past is often shaped by the narratives we choose to tell and remember. As we continue to explore the legends of the Old West, we must remember that the truth often lies somewhere between fact and fiction. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. And most importantly, please share your thoughts and comments below. I'd love to hear what you think. Thanks again, and may God bless you with more power and prosperity.